Welcome to the Preeminence Daily Podcast. I'm your host, Matthew J. Peters, founder of Ascend. Be sure to grab your ultimate guide to preeminence at preeminence.tv. Today we're talking about no squatting in the cell rack. So tune in, listen up, and get ready to take a focused action on your mission, message, and presence and create accelerated results toward preeminence right now. I grew up on a dairy farm from 1977 to 1986, and once I turned about 8, I began helping out in the barn and with the chores around the farm, and one of my jobs was to feed the cows. Back then, if cows wanted to eat, their choice was the grass out in the pasture or what I fed them, or a little of both. Now, I didn't have to be good at what I did, and the food didn't have to be the tastiest thing in the universe for those cows to eat everything I fed them. Like clockwork, they would walk into the barn and put their heads in this mechanism called a stanchion that would comfortably keep them from running off for a while. Now, I imagine if there were 2 other places they could get fed, sometimes they would go there instead of my barn. If there were dozens of options, I would have to get better and better at serving them, brushing them down, petting them, talking to them, singing them a song with a soothing voice, and give them all they could eat. What if there were thousands of places for them to choose from? How would I get them coming back to eat at my trough? Now, I'm not calling your audience or you or your followers cows or cattle. I'm just saying this to make a point from my simple upbringing. When we are the only game in town, it matters very little what and how we provide our products and services to people. Yet in a world of limitless options for people, we need to be keenly aware of their needs, their desires, and why they choose us. I learned the 6 human needs from Tony Robbins several years ago and began applying it to my communication and marketing. I want to take the next few minutes to talk about how you can use them together in your marketing and in your messaging to keep people coming back to your trough. As I go through these, think about how they would apply to your communications. All right, here's the 6 human needs: certainty, variety, significance, connection and love, growth, and contribution. All right, I want you to think about that again. Certainty. Certainty is a need for safety or stability or comfort. All right, how are you comforting people and helping them feel that you have stability in your communication? So they're certain they're going to get something good from you, right? That's why they come back, the certainty of what you provide. They know every time they come to you, they're getting quality. Every time people come and listen to this podcast, they know what to expect as far as a level of quality of information and value from me. Now, variety. If you said the same thing every time, people would no longer come back. They say, yeah, we get it, after halfway through the first thing that you said the second time. So your variety, that's the need for stimulus and change. So how are you changing things up, but also giving them that stability? All right? So think about your Facebook posts, your podcasts, your videos. How are you giving them certainty? They know what to expect from you. And then variety, you're changing it up a little bit. Now, what about significance? The third need. They need to be special and worthy of attention. How are you making them feel special? So are you giving recognition to them? How do you help them feel significant in consuming your content? Are you giving a shout out to people who comment? Are you commenting on their comments? Are you commenting back? Think about those things. You know, a lot of times people will have a video and they'll get over 100 comments on it and they're not saying anything back. There's no interconnection. There's no investment back into the people. There's no conversation. It's just like you're a broadcaster. How significant do you feel in the eyes of network news that just blast the news at you? They're not listening to you. How significant do you feel? So certainty. They know the quality and value that they're going to get from listening to you. Variety, you're changing things up a little bit. Significance, oh my gosh, you responded to my comment. I'll tell you the significance part. I bought Tim Ferriss's book, and I followed one of the things he said in there. He had a thing called Geek to Freak, and I did that. I gained 10 pounds of muscle and lost 12 pounds of fat in 30 days, which I thought was significant. And I posted my results on his post where he had the Geek to Freak thing, and he responded to say, "This is great, Matthew. I'd love to talk with you more about that." And then he had a book launch where if you bought 100 books, you could meet him at a party. I bought 100 books, invested over $1,000 in them because I felt significant for a moment. It's like, oh my gosh, this guy I respect called me out. He mentioned me. That don't underplay the significance part. In this world, we have so much synthetic connections. Recognizing somebody as an individual, pointing them out in a good way, that's huge. So you got certainty, variety, significance, connection, and love. The need for connection with others, ultimately to love and be loved. So how do they feel loved? How do they feel connected? What if you had a post, or what if you had a Facebook group? I'm just going to say Facebook group. People felt connection. They're part of a community, right? They're connected with other people. You all have this thing in common. You all have this goal or this vision in common. So there's a connection there. Growth, the need to develop and expand. Whatever you're giving them in the certainty, in the variety, feeling significant, and they feel like they're growing. Hey, they're learning something. They're developing. They're expanding their world. You're challenging them. And contribution. How are you asking them to give back? How are they feeling like they can be a part not only of this conversation, but of the cause? You say, hey, share this up if this is something that you really believe in. Who else do you know needs to hear this? I'll say this right now with this podcast. If this podcast is serving you, contribute by sharing this up with somebody else. So let's go back through this here. Certainty. How are you going to use certainty in your marketing and your messaging? How are they going to know? You know what? I know John. I know Sandy. I know Matthew. Whenever I go there, they have value. I got that. And I know when I go there, there's variety. It's going to be different than the last time I was there, right? Something's going to change, but I know it's still going to be valuable. That's like if my favorite artist, when they come out with a new CD, I don't need to hear the tracks first. I'll just buy it because I know I have certainty that it's going to be good and there's going to be variety. Now, significance. How am I going to make them feel special? Wow, I feel significant because they responded to my comment. Thanks, that was a great comment. Or you might want to check out this link here. You know, they responded to me. There's an interaction. It's not just a broadcast blast out at my face. Connection. I feel a real connection with this group of people. We all share the same mission. And growth. You challenged me on this last podcast. You gave me an action step that was difficult, and I grew through doing it and learning how to overcome that obstacle I had before, or I had to stretch a little bit. In contribution, I felt like I contributed to this cause as well, to this mission. Now I'm a part of it. So your action step on your journey up the path towards preeminence is to write out the 6 human needs and write up a post that covers all of them and publish it. See what it does for you. Once you do, I want you to send me a link or tag me on it if you can, and put a link down in the comments to that specific post, not to your product page, not to your homepage, but to that specific post. I want to read it, and if I can, I will give you feedback. I need to be able to find it, though. All right, so your action step is certainty, variety, significance, connection, growth, and contribution in one post. Once you do that in one post, go ahead and write these 6 out, put them on your computer screen or something so you have them there when you're writing. How am I addressing all these things? That's all I have for you today. I look forward to talking with you tomorrow. This daily podcast is all about you becoming the preeminent voice in your marketplace. So take the consistent and necessary action each and every day on what you've learned over the last few minutes. When, not if, when you're ready to take your business, your organization, your name, your brand, and your commitment to the level of preeminence, head on over to preeminence.tv where you can download your own copy of The Ultimate Guide to Preeminence. Enroll in the Elevation program and join us on one of our next live events. If you're not subscribed, simply visit iTunes, Stitcher, or Google Play right now and click subscribe. Until tomorrow, make today and each and every day count towards creating preeminence in your space and a legacy that matters.